If you are using your pump with a glucose sensor, you will also see an antenna icon between the time and the battery icons. This icon means the sensor is connected to the transmitter and communicating with the pump. When the antenna appears in a dark circle, it indicates the sensor feature is on, but there is no communication between the pump and transmitter. You access this graph by pressing Escape one time from the home screen. Your current glucose value is shown on the screen here. Above this number is the type of graph you're viewing and the glucose time. Glucose time refers to the last time your glucose was measured by the sensor. The graph line indicates the sensor glucose points. These are the glucose values recorded by the sensor. If you see an up arrow next to your glucose, it indicates that your glucose has risen at a rate of 1 to 2 milligrams per deciliter per minute for the last 20 minutes. In other words, your glucose has changed 20 to 40 milligrams per deciliter in the last 20 minutes. A down arrow next to your glucose indicates that your glucose has dropped at a rate of 1 to 2 milligrams per deciliter per minute for the last 20 minutes, or that your glucose has changed 20 to 40 milligrams per deciliter in the last 20 minutes. Two up arrows next to your glucose indicates that your glucose has risen at a rate of more than 40 milligrams per deciliter over the last 20 minutes. And two down arrows next to your glucose indicates that your glucose has dropped at a rate of more than 40 milligrams per deciliter over the last 20 minutes. A vertical flashing line indicates the sensor glucose value currently being displayed to the right of the graph. The horizontal lines show your set high and low alarm settings. The short lines at the bottom of the graph represent the times you delivered a bolus. To scroll back through your sensor glucose data points and any alarms you have received, press the down arrow button. When you do this, the graph type display changes to History. The right side of the screen changes to light letters on a dark background. This shows that you are now looking at old data. To view the current glucose and a graph of the most recent 24 hours of data from the home screen, press Escape twice. The features of the 24-hour graph are identical to those of the 3-hour graph. Here you see that you are viewing the 24-hour graph. This indication changes to History when you use the down arrow button to scroll. The darkened area of the graph is the period from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. To enter a value manually, perform the following steps. From the main menu, select Sensor and press Act. Select Enter Meter BG and press Act. Use the up and down arrow buttons to enter your BG and press Act again. In the main menu, select Sensor and press Act. On the Sensor menu, select Sensor Start and press Act. New sensor will be highlighted, so press Act to select it. The new sensor screen tells you to connect the new sensor to the transmitter. Then press Act. Press Act again when the Sensor Ready message appears. Just as the pump status screen tells you what's going on with your pump, the sensor status screen lets you check the status of sensor information. From the home screen, you access the pump status screen by pressing Escape 3 times. To see the sensor status screen, press Escape one more time. Note that the sensor status screen will only appear if the sensor feature is turned on. Here you can learn a variety of information, including when your next calibration will be needed, your sensor's age, and the state of your transmitter battery.